Hey guys, welcome to the introduction video for my free-to-play account. So I made this video just to try to have a better perspective for those free-to-play players, and also as a way to kind of highlight some of the things that someone who's been playing this game for a while would have done differently, as I was starting. So first of all, I think we should probably just take a look at the characters that I got, and I can kind of explain why I stuck with this account over, as I mentioned in a previous video, I was actually re-rolling specifically for an account with Medina, but we didn't actually end up keeping one with Medina. So this account here, I'll just start off by showing the characters here. So for URs, we got, let's go ahead and switch to rarity. We got a lot of URs on this account. Alright, so 6 URs that you can see here, and just characters alone. And picking up Lucia, when I specifically made this account and started working on, this idea behind this free-to-play series, Lucia had just come out. So, we're getting those login bonuses with Lucia shards, etc. So Lucia ended up just kind of being a really strong account. But the fact that we also got Ketone and, Ziza and Stern and Ayaka and Yerma, like, it was just too good of an account to really pass up. And I just felt like it was, just one of those situations where it wasn't what I was going for, but it worked out pretty well. So before we talk, actually let's just take a look. So I keep talking about, Lucia was a good unit for this time period, right? And the reason behind that is not that she gets worse, right? If you look at my Lucia, though, you can see she's already LB1, almost LB2. And the reason behind that is because if I go and look in the shop, so she's the featured unit right now. This is a perfect example. Look, we booted up and boom, Lucia shards. And now she's LB2. We'll just go ahead and just run over and do that real quick. But because she's like a featured unit, so one, I believe that she has, so now she's LB2, she can go to level 50, we get the extra stuff there. And if we go back to the shop, I believe that because she's a featured unit, you're more likely to see her in here. But also, if we go to her shop, she has all these shards that you can buy. So you can buy 120 shards right out the gate, this unit, right? And we have 5,000 lapis. There's a decent chance we just do that, actually, right? I'm saving it up for, to the very last minute, so that way, if there's a bunch that are actually in the shop, I can pick those up as well and farm a little more of the story if I need to for more lapis, etc. Yeah, so another thing, while we're looking at it, always pick up these shards you can get for Gil. It doesn't hurt to level more characters at all. And the spheres that you need to level this guy, his LB is non-consequential, like whatsoever. So anyway, yeah, all this stuff kind of amounts to Lucia just being a really good choice for this particular time period. I can pick up a lot of these, the Wind Awakening pack, the Fire Awakening packs and stuff like that because of the shop, and also all these All-Chris and things like that too, right? So making not only leveling her LB easier, but also leveling her jobs and, even just awakening the unit itself, right? And so for this account, we're going to really heavily just go with Lucia. It also kind of works out because if I ever run into a big issue, I have the ability to just take my main account's Lucia, which is going to be my main damage dealer there, and just chain it up and, go to town on some stuff. So if there's ever any issues with like help that I need there, but in reality, it's also going to be pretty similar for you guys. Likely, you'll probably try and reach out to some whale friends that you encounter while you're in your different missions. You see somebody as a really strong character, and then you just try to friend them after the mission is over. And I highly recommend doing that. A lot of people, myself included, will take friends with lower level units just so we can help each other out. The community itself is pretty nice for this game. But anyway, so yeah, like I said, so we're mainly leveling Lucia here, but let's take a look at what my actual team is, so I can show you guys kind of what I'm doing here and why it's way different than my other account. So as you can see here, I'm not leveling more than one UR. Like I did a little bit right out the gate, just got them to level 30 because I wanted to be able to just try and farm some stuff, but this is the team that I'm realistically looking at running. So we're not running Ayeka, we're not running Ketone, you know, all this kind of stuff. I was even thinking about swapping her out and picking Phoebe up because we just got her. Just so that way I can save a little bit on, you know, even if you try and, you know, save on resources with using MR units, MR units actually take similar amounts of crystals to level up. You can farm their hard events for their shards. Sorry, not crystals, I know I said that earlier. Shards, unit shards. You can farm their shard quest one extra time per day, so that does help. And that'll be something we look into in the long run. But I actually picked Kadia here because I just like the way she looks. I think she has a very white mage feel, white mage cleric feel, and I think she'll be able to take care of a lot of the healing needs that I have, while also doing a little bit of magic damage too. Yeah, so she has like rays and things up here. Anyway, she's mainly gonna be my healer for right now. And, you know, like I said, I may even switch her to be Phoebe, in which case, you know, as we... Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to swap that for you guys, or remove that for you guys. If we switch her to Phoebe, then we're running 3 SRs, 1 MR, and 1 UR, you know? And so the reason behind that is it's just about resources, right? So before, I even would have suggested that you don't go with the same element. But now we have this item exchange here that if you need, you know, elemental wind awakening prisms, you could trade some, right? Like I can get 35 with my fire ones if I wanted to, and things like that. So doing single element isn't a big deal, but the rest of your resources will kind of matter. So let's say I want to awaken Lucia. So I have the rainbow fragments here, and I have the rainbow spheres. Cool, right? So we could awaken her to 55, no problem. However, the next level, I believe it takes 3 rainbow fragments, and it's like 5 rainbow spheres, and then the final level is like 10 rainbow spheres more, right? So we don't have the ability to awaken her to max, and we need to farm several rainbow spheres before we can even manage to do that, and that doesn't even include the fragments, right? When it comes to our other units though, these SR units in particular, right? So let's take a look at Sasha, I don't actually know how you say her name, but if we awaken her, she doesn't actually require a rainbow fragment until like the second to last one. So we could easily get her up to like 60 probably before it even requires any kind of rainbow awakening materials. And not only that, but look at how many, like we already have her LB2, and we, you know, it only takes 60 shards. We just did LB2 for our Lucia and it took 80 shards. And it takes these golden vision spheres instead of the rainbow ones. So it's really just about managing your resources for these rainbow spheres and fragments. Any unit will use rainbow fragments, but not any unit will use the spheres. So the fragments will definitely be a throttle for a free-to-play player, but so will the vision spheres if you're trying to level even just one UR character, right? Like I said, we can't even fully awaken Lucia yet, because we just won't have the rainbow spheres, even if we had the fragments of thought and other stuff. And this other stuff you can farm. The tier on the right, this golden one right here, this is the only one that will change with each rarity, and these you can all farm. through the Wind All Chris Chamber or whatever it's called, and the rest of them are not. So you'll have to find other ways to get them, whether it be from normal summons or completing story quests or from doing limited time events, things like that. You will get them over time, so it's not something to worry about. Even just doing your daily quests is a way that you can get some of those awakening materials. Let's just go missions. Yeah, so if you look in here, you'll see some of these fire fragments of thought and stuff like that. And, you know, again, more here and more here. It's definitely worth it to make sure you do multiple times per day. You can actually go down here and you can do the limited normal time summon or whatever. Because here you'll also get these, the awakening prisms and stuff. Okay, cool. So we did get some here. You also have a chance of getting your rainbow shards here too, right? So really big deal. You can get gill snappers, other vision card stuff, and other unit shards as well. So it's definitely worth it to do this as much as possible. I want to say it's available every 6 hours. It changes with the shop, I believe, but I don't actually know. And looking at the timer, I'm feeling like I'm a little wrong. It looks like it's going to reset at about 5 p.m. my time, whereas the shop resets at about 7 p.m. my time. So you might be able to do this more than 4 times per day. I'd have to look into it more, but just keep an eye out for this. You'll see the free in so much time. I never recommend paying for this. Your guild is important, but always just might as well do the free one, right? So with that, let's take a look at the other stuff that this account has. Because you might be thinking, okay, well, you know, if I don't want multiple URs, why do I want to, you know, make sure that I have rerolled and gotten a good enough account? And the reason why is not only espers, but also your vision cards. They're going to have a big play on your future experience. So for me, you can see that I don't really have any good espers here. A lot of these are pretty basic ones, and a lot of, like, you know, SR rarity stuff. I think Iron Giant's the only, like, MR esper I have here. Don't quote me on that, though. But for vision cards, you kind of need to get a good feel for what vision cards go for which characters too. I only ended up getting one UR vision card, so that was kind of a bummer, but it is a very good vision card for a magic damage dealer, and I'm really jealous that I don't have this on my main account. But it's a good, I think it's a good card to have got, right? If I was going to get a UR card, it's not one of the ones that I am sad about getting, if that makes sense. You know, even if, sorry, allergies are killing me these days. Even if this was something I wanted to put on, you know, my healer damage dealer, or, you know, like Murmur, we're looking at leveling maybe, or the Spellblade that we have in our team, right? That's currently who I have it on right now. It's just extra magic attack damage for the team that, you know, she's going to get access to as well. Katie is going to get, and this person's going to get, with a lot of just regular magic on it. So it's not necessarily a bad thing at all. There's a couple other things too. I was lucky enough to get the Vow of Love. Extremely, extremely good. I would even say this should have been a UR tier card, in my opinion. Like, that's how strong it is. You want to put it on your tank. This hate up 5 is incredible. It means that at the start of battle, there will be units that are aggroed towards your tank, and that's what you want. You don't want, you know, them to go after Ayaka or, you know, in this case, Kadia or anything like that. You'd rather them go for Nasha or Engelbert or whatever. And it also gives you the attack up for your party. Extremely good card. So that's a good reason why I wanted to stick with this account. There's also a lot of other cards that may not look good, but are actually very good. Like, this one's really, really good. So agility up, agility being one of the best stats in the game. just because of the fact that like your agility directly affects how often you get to attack, and that's never a bad thing. And then slash attack up, that's kind of meh for this team in particular, because I'm not really running any slash damage dealers besides Nasha is technically a slash damage dealer, but it's a pretty good card. And yeah, so just looking through what you end up getting is going to be really important, right? Just starting on the left and then just looking through. This is also a really great card for later on for damage reduction, which is very good. You know, anything avian killer, not too important, not a lot of birds, but attack percentage up, very good. And dex percent is okay. This card's pretty good, critical hit up and attack percent for the party. So it was a combination for me, looking at the units that I had. I just got so many UR characters. You know, I got the Vow of Love, I got Nasha right off the bat. You know, she's the tank that I'm using on my main account. With Lucia, I also was planning to use Sosha at some point on my main account, just to like be doing wind elemental chains with her. So that's already there. You know, we talked about before, there's going to be a Dark Slash raid coming up, and so I talked about using little Leela. And, you know, so it's just kind of a lot of things fell in place with what I was looking for in account, and also the content that's going to be coming in the future. So hopefully that gives you guys a good idea. Really, what I'm just trying to do is, you know, keep up with my Chocobo expeditions when I can. You know, this is a great source of XP, even if you're not playing, right? And part of what I'm doing with this account is I'm specifically not playing, like, all the time, right? So I'm not grinding it overnight, I'm not doing any of that, I'm just logging in, maybe playing like an hour or two a day, maybe. And some days I don't even log in, honestly. Like, I'm just not making it a priority, and I'm just casually doing it, right? I log in, maybe I check the shop, and then I close the app. And then stuff like that. You know, going and checking the shop for these shards when you have Lapis is a very, very good way to level your units. I've only done like a couple of the raid attempts. I think my raid is like level 6 or something. And then, you know, when I can, I do try and do these missions. Eventually, you do want to try and collect more royal points. They are good. You do get more things for playing more often. And obviously, the 50 Visior per day is pretty good too. But yeah, to be honest, I can't really think of anything else that would be super relevant for you guys. Just keep in mind, you know, as a new player, just pick the character that you like and that you think is going to work for you. It doesn't necessarily need to be something strong, right? It doesn't need to be Lucia. If you love Eileen, go for it, man. Honestly, she's going to be good enough. And as long as you can have a team that's, you know, works well together, then you're going to be able to clear content. You can clear, I think, most, if not everything in the game with non-UR characters. So having a UR character is just going to be a step up, right? That's why even my main account, who has almost every UR in the game, is still looking at leveling these SR units, not even MR, right? SR units to do wind chaining with and stuff like that. So just don't get too bogged down with the idea that you need to have URs and units and cards and espers and stuff like that. It will help you for sure, but just play the game. You'll be able to make it through. And then for new players, make sure you're just leveling through the story. There's a lot of rewards that you get just by doing the story. That'll really help you level up. If you look in your missions and just kind of take a look around at like what is available. So all these quests, so Clear Chapter 2, Scene 3, I'm going to get 6 more spheres and 2 more rainbow fragments, you know, 1,000 Visior. Like, all this stuff is just in the base game. All these awakening materials, a ton more rainbow spheres, all this stuff. And hold on to the Visior. I would not recommend pulling on any banner that's not a guaranteed rainbow. It's tough. But unless you really want the unit, just don't do it. Like, I would love Tetrasylphid. But let me tell you from experience, on my main account, I've done probably 8 to 10 of these 10 summons. And although I've gotten lots of cool stuff, right? I got Medina, I got a bunch of Frederica, you know, I've gotten a bunch of really cool stuff. The chances of getting the actual like Esper card that I need is so low, man. Like, let's just take a look real quick. Drop rates. Those are units. So the chance of getting tetrasulfide is 0.8%. It's not very good, right? And any of these other espers that you want are even lower than that, like 0.1% chance. So don't think that you're gonna be able to just pull on a banner just haphazardly and getting the units or espers that you want. For us right now, I'm either looking at spending them on Lucia shards or trying to get Celir from the next banner. She is an MR unit, she is a little bit harder to pull, but I'm hoping that with the extra Vizior I can get from the story, that maybe I can just manage to get her really quick and get out. Because she is worth it, you know, top damage dealer, but her being an MR will mean I don't have to use more of the vision, or the rainbow spheres, and I can just hold on to my resources and buy shards when I need them. And then realistically, the next damage dealer after that, I'm not really planning on doing anything that's not a UR guaranteed. So we'll kind of see in the next video where I'm at. I'm planning to do maybe, I don't know if I want to do videos every 2 weeks for this series or every month or so. We'll just kind of see. I'm going to probably work on it a little bit and stream here and there, but again, I'm going to try and go forward with the expectation that, you know, maybe it's like an hour or two a night, maybe, right? If I even log in at all. I do want to kind of log in at least to get the the daily login bonus for Lucia shards, because of course that's such a big deal, right? And I recommend everybody do that. Even if you make an account tomorrow and you don't have Lucia, still log in every day. The Vizior that you get for free just for logging in, super good, and doesn't take more than 30 seconds of your time. You know, just open the app on your phone, put it back in your pocket, let it load up, get all the free Vizior, and then close it if you need to, right? On your way to work or, you know, whatever. Alright, well that is going to be it, guys. Thank you very much. Like I said, we will be doing more of this, and I'll probably have it in a playlist or something on my channel at some point. So hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good night, and peace out, guys.